I'm sharing from experience as someone who has come to the UK with this category of visa. So I need you to stay tuned and watch to the end of this video so that you can get to understand everything about this category of visa. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Moyolua. If you're new to this channel, please click on the subscribe button down below to see more content like this. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. And today I'll be sharing about charity worker visa, which is also known as temporary worker visa or tier 5 visa. If there's anything that is not clear in this video, please put a question down in the comments and I'll respond to that. There are different categories of visas to come to the UK, and tier 5 is not so common as one of those categories. People mostly go for tier 2 and tier 4, which is the student worker visa, and tier 2, which is the skilled worker visa. But then tier 5 is also available for people who would like to take such opportunity to come to the UK. And the good thing about this category of visa is that it gives you experience in volunteering, an organization that you might be interested in, and also having a travel experience for a year or two. So this visa is referred to as a temporary worker visa or a charity visa because of some reasons. You are actually volunteering. That means you won't be paid. Is a work that you won't get paid for, and also it's called temporary because you won't have the opportunity to stay in the UK for more than 2 years if you don't switch to another category of visa. This visa is categorized into two: the charity worker visa and a temporary religious worker visa. So under this tier 5, you can actually apply to a charity organization and come to volunteer in the UK, and you can also apply to either a church or a mosque or any religious organization and volunteer with them in the UK. So that is why it is categorized into two. The one I personally came in with is a religious worker visa, in which I came into the UK to do a Bible school and then do some stuff and gather some experience in Christianity works. So this video is not only going to be focused on the religious part, it's going to be focused on the tier 5 as a whole. What are the requirements for this visa? You have to be 18 years and above. And the number 2 thing is that you have to have a valid passport, of course, to apply for this visa. The number 3 thing is that you have to have a sponsorship certificate. So this is where the problem comes. To get a sponsorship certificate, there are different organizations in the UK that could offer you a sponsorship certificate to come and volunteer in their organizations. So I'll be sharing some links with you in this video and in the description box down below of some of the organizations I have researched and that are currently recruiting individuals from overseas to come and volunteer with them. So if you apply to one of these organizations and you are accepted, then they will issue you a certificate of sponsorship which you will use for your visa. The other requirement is that you need to have at least £1,270 in your account, which must have been in your account for at least 28 days before you apply for your visa. This is to show that you'll be able to finance yourself when you get to the UK. Some organizations can fill some forms for you that might exclude you from providing a proof of fund, which is the £1,270, and then you don't need to have that in your account. Personally, I didn't have that when I was coming to the UK. If you are coming to the UK with your child or your spouse, you also need to prove that they can stay in the UK, and for your spouse you need to have £285 for at least 28 days, and for your first child you need to have £315, and then for your other children you need to have at least £200 in the account that can show that they can stay in the UK. If your employer fill a form that they can sponsor you, then you don't need all this money. If your employer gives you a visa that is above 6 months and you're from some part of the world like Nigeria, then you need to do a tuberculosis test for yourself and for your family before applying for this visa, which will be part of the documents you need to submit. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of this category of visa? I'll start from the disadvantages. You won't get paid. if you're coming to the UK just because you want to make money, I'm not going to advise you to apply for this category of visa, because it's not going to give you what you want. So it's not a kind of visa of money, it's a kind of visa that you get to have experience if you want to come to the UK as a volunteer. So I hope that explains a lot about this visa, which means that you need to have money to be able to finance yourself when you get to the UK. So I would advise that a single person actually apply for this visa. If you just finished the university or you just finished secondary school and you're above 18 years, you just want to explore the world and see other side of things, then go for this kind of visa if you can afford the expenses. But if you have a family and you still want to apply for this visa, it is possible. Then if you come to the UK, you could work with the organization that employs you, and then your spouse will have the freedom to do any kind of work that they wishes to while they're in the UK. The good thing is that every category of visa right now in the UK, you can work 20 hours in any job description that is under the shortage occupation list. But the thing is that for an employer to employ you from another part of the country, they might require you to work 40 hours, which will give you no room to do any other kind of work, even the works on the shortage occupation list. The advantage is that even though you don't get paid, but you can do any work that is under the shortage occupation list. And if you're coming with your spouse, then your spouse could be able to get job that they want to, and then you will have to be the one working for your organization. Another advantage of this work is that some organizations, they will provide, in fact most organizations will provide accommodation for you, but sometimes this accommodation might not be a room all to yourself. You might need to share a room with other people. Then some organization will provide food, which means you don't have to worry about housing and food. And then some organization might maybe provide like little stipend for you. In fact, I saw an organization I'll be sharing later in this video that said they will provide for your flights back home. That means they will book you don't need to book your flights back home. They will pay for your flight, and they said they will pay for the cheapest available flights for you back home. So that means your flight back home is also covered. And the other biggest advantage of doing a voluntary job is that the experience, because come on, if you put out your CV out there and that you've volunteered to work in a place for like a year or two and you're not paid, it tells so much about your personality and about the kind of person that you are, that it's not only money that motivates you to work, and it will help build your CV. And the other thing is that if you come to the UK and you still maybe want to stay longer in the UK, while you're in the UK, you could find other category of visa that suits you, and then you could switch within the UK into those categories. Maybe you want to switch to a tier 2, or you want to switch to a tier 4. So while you're in the UK, you can start looking into that if that is what you want to do. So the companies that I have researched that are presently recruiting and giving people a sponsorship to come to the UK and volunteer for them are Camp Hill Blair Drummond. Is in Scotland, and what they do is that they help children with special needs. The skill they require is that you have to be a reliable and dependable person, and you have to be genuine. You have to have genuine interest in the people that you'll be working with, and they also want people within the age of 18 to 25. So if you are younger than 18 or older than 25, you are not welcome. So they need someone within that age range to come and help and volunteer with these people. We're sharing the link in the description box down below. Please click on the link to read more about this organization. And the benefits you'll be getting working with this organization is accommodation and food. Then the other thing is that you have a 26 days of holiday. So they if you want to come to the UK and also explore other parts of the UK, you have 26 days to do that, so you can travel all around and just enjoy coming to the UK, not just being in that corner alone, which is a good thing. The second one that sounds like that is Camp Hill Community Mount Grange. The thing is that most of the organizations I searched, I have like 3 or 4 Camp Hills. So I'll just put the description down. You just look into it. It's like the same organization but in different location. I think there's one in Milton Keynes, there's one in Scotland. So you just go and check those links, and it's about the same benefits and the same people that they care for. there's this other one I checked out, which is called Elide Community Trust. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that rightly, so I'll also drop the link down if you can check out. So it is this particular organization that I said they will pay for your flight back home if you're leaving, and in this particular organization they promise to give you a single room to yourself, so you don't need to share room with other people. That is that about this video. I know this video is loaded with a lot of information. If there's anything that is not clear, please put it down in the comment section. I will reply to it. And if you want me to share even more links for you to apply for, guys, there are so many places that you could apply to and that could give you a certificate of sponsorship to come and work under this category of visa. So it's so good to have you in this video. I would love to share more about visas and coming into the UK, and I would like you to please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that when I post any video you can get to see it quickly and you don't miss us, because if you're coming to the UK next year, then you need to start applying now. Yeah, so good to see you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.